podcast, Elrond, episode 3. 3 episodes, baby. I am here with Alec, the OG Madrigal, on Twitter for the 3rd episode. Alec, how the heck are you feeling today, man?
You know what? I'm doing pretty darn good. I woke up this morning saying, you know what? I think we bottomed out. And, well, Steven, it turns out we did.
I want to make sure nobody makes any buying or selling decisions based off of our words. I'm right there with you. So yesterday was December 13th, and Bitcoin was definitely kind of showing some insecurity, sending all sorts of kind of shock waves of fear and stuff through the market. I am happy to say that so far that support has held. And with regard to the e-gold market, I mean, yeah, things are looking slow and steady, and it really does look like that foundational support of demand is building, and I think it's just really supporting the price movement.
Yeah, this kind of stuff that we're seeing right now is nothing new. Fear hits the streets, and then you have massive sell-off, you have a massive dump, and then people are like, dude, Bitcoin's not even worth anything. Like, why are you even buying Bitcoin? And then people realize once it starts to pump again, they're like, bro, I need to get me some Bitcoin. Like, we're just entering that same cycle that happens over and over again, man.
Yeah, there's a classic meme out there that's like people lining up for a movie theater, but they change the title of like Bitcoin at like 40K, and there's like one person in line, but it's like Bitcoin at 100K, and like it's a crowd of people, and they're all like ready to buy or whatever. And maybe we'll pop it up in one of the corners here so people can see. But that right there encapsulates the essence of really kind of what attracted me to crypto in the first place. Was it's such a market of skepticism that it's so easy for people to sway left, sway right. You're in and you're out. You are fear, you're greedy. You know, it's like, I'm just going to just find a position, hold strong, and just time is kind of the bet that I'm making.
Yeah, and I don't know if I mentioned this in episode 2, but if you're especially hurting if you're not participating in the Maiar DEX. You are like,
yes,
you are crippled right now because you are not farming. You are not realizing the rewards that the Mayar is offering you. Me, I did buy. I'm not going to lie, I was buying at the top for a little bit. I had a healthy amount at the beginning, and I was like, holy shit, is this thing going to fly to 1,000? And I was like, I need to buy more. But of course, I bought at the top, but I didn't really feel the effects of this 50% drop that we experienced because of the rewards that I've been harvesting. My account is still sitting almost in the same exact place as when things were at all-time highs.
I think that's a huge point of emphasis, that if you are not farming and utilizing the rewards of the Maiar exchange, like you're gonna get diluted. I mean, it's not a predictive statement at this point. Like, clearly, if you have not been engaging and reaping the harvest, no pun intended, like, you're gonna get diluted. And I mean, I know for a fact that Wesley Kress talked about it, like specifically with just the MEX token, but naturally, you know, I don't know if he mentioned specifically the same effect would happen to Elrond, but you know, the ties should have been made. And the fact is, if I liquidated my whole position back into Elrond, I will have 30% more Elrond than I ever put into the exchange. And if that doesn't paint a small picture as to the tangible value that the Maiar exchange has literally created, like, I really don't know kind of what indicators you're looking for.
Yeah, man. Things have just been wild. I think the last time we spoke, the Maiar DEX was actually down, and we weren't sure.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, we really weren't sure where things were going to head. That's not to say we didn't have any trust in the team, but once you start to hit a certain period of billions of dollars being locked up inside of an exchange that you can't access, then you start to get a little fearful, which is understandable. And browsing the Twitter community, I saw that there was, oh my God, there was a lot of fear floating around out there, man. A lot of FUD.
Totally, yeah.
And reading some of those comments, I was starting to get sucked into the FUD. But I held my ground, I stayed strong, and I understood the technology and the promise that this team is delivering on. And it was
Yeah.
it was something I wasn't willing to waver on.
Yeah, man, and it's especially challenging and not particularly ideal that Bitcoin is kind of showing some weakness at this point because, yeah, I mean, that's what's so crazy about crypto markets specifically is that the emotional tie with trading and investing in this industry is like multiplied by like 2 or 3 because of that statement. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. And there's just like so much hype and so much excitement that builds around something like Elrond, and then whenever price starts to go down, it's easy to just pause, like a deer in headlights, and really just question everything. And it's just the cyclical nature of washing the market, of anybody who is going to give into those fears, like, get out. Like, the market will force you out, and the people who believe in it and are longtime investors, holders, they believe in it. Those are the people that need to come in to pick up those assets as they fall and support price so that it can continue to grow. I mean, we've just kind of been excitedly chit-chatting here, but just for the sake of keeping things in order, let's kind of get into just a short recap of we're now on to the 4th week of the Mayar exchange launched. We've had a lot of changes kind of go on. So just for the audience, if you're new here and you haven't seen episodes 1 or episode 2 of Podcast Elrond, definitely check those out. Lots of great conversation there. But Alec, give the people kind of an update on how you're playing Elrond, how you're playing the Mayar exchange. If nothing has changed, just go ahead and give us an update on what farms you have established.
Okay, yeah. So last time, if I remember correctly, I didn't really have a strategy yet because I wasn't sure what to do with the new MEX economics. And I like to think I have figured out my strategy and what works for me. So for me, I fully believe that here in a couple of years, not financial advice, by the way, MEX is going to outperform eGold. So what my strategy has switched to is the 2 farms that I have are my eGold locked MEX farm, which I have 100% of my eGold pair with 100% of locked MEX. And the only reason I was able to do that is because I followed the Denver strategy at the beginning. But besides the point, now what I'm doing is something called the Houston strategy I learned the other day. So cool. With this strategy, what I'm doing is my eagled locked MEX farm is farming the 15x APR on that farm, and then I take those rewards which come in the form of locked MEX, and then I take my locked MEX and then I put it back into the MEX farm to earn me 12x APR. And so what 12x APR in locked MEX, and then what I do with that locked MEX is I compound it right back into my MEX pool. So I'm compounding interest multiple times a day because I think it's better to harvest those rewards as often as you can, because therefore you're compounding as often as you can. So that's my strategy that I use. What kind of strategy, which is also called the full tilt strategy, if you don't know that. I think a lot of people are out there using it. What kind of strategy are you utilizing right now, Stephen?
After they made those changes to the bootstrapping mechanism, in the last episode, I mentioned to you, though we didn't get too much into it, but we definitely talked about how because the incentive shifted towards earning dramatically more lock MEX, that means that there is just going to be less liquid MEX, being kind of flowing into the market. And that's before any elements start to come in with regard to the different utilities that MEX will provide with farming and all sorts of stuff. But with that being said, I actually kind of took some risks, and I actually pulled out 100% of my LP. So I have gone from full tilt, and I'm actually coining the phrase, I am fully tilted MEX. I have 100% of my portfolio. All my eGold I swapped to MEX. all of my mechs is farming lock mechs. All my lock mechs is forming is giving me lock mechs. So I fully believe that the Maiar exchange is going to continue to grow, and given that it is in market cap, it has some room to grow to catch up to Elrond. Like, the metaphor that I see, or that I've kind of understood, is that Mex is going to continue to kind of dilute the market, but it's kind of the visual picture that I see is that, Elrond is here. Elrond is, going to the gym. He's working out. He's building that foundation. And then, baby brother Mex comes along, and like Mex is like a brand new baby to the market. And, whenever you're helping somebody up, like, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, Alec, but sometimes whenever you help somebody up, you're lifting them up, and you pull so much harder than you expect, and you actually both fall over, and the person you were helping up actually falls over you. So I'm not sure if anything like that has ever happened, but the play that I'm making is a play that is kind of expecting for the Maiar exchange and for the MEX token really for its value to build up to and slingshot beyond the market cap of Elrond. And I believe that because of what Maiar DEX represents. And obviously Elrond, the coin, comes along and it provides the foundation and an array of utility to the market, from staking to just transacting. But in my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong, debate me, but I feel like the Maiar exchange is kind of a pivotal moment in that it is the means of hypergrowth. Elrond is the support, but the MEX token and the exchange within and the actual exchanging through swaps, and then the farms. I'm kind of throwing around a lot of intangible phrases, but I essentially feel like the Maiar exchange, because, that Wesley Crest video, he's comparing it to Uniswap and PancakeSwap and all, like, nobody, Uniswap, all these people, like, yeah, they look at Ethereum, they look at Binance Chain, etc., and it's great that those are the foundational coins that build up those exchanges, but which asset is truly capturing the value? So what I believe is that, yes, Elrond E-Gold will capture value of the Maiar exchange. It will grow together. But I think that I mentioned it in the last episode. Again, I feel like I keep saying that, but because Elrond and MEX are kind of buddy-buddy, I think that they will continue to stack on one another. And at this point, I'm kind of just waiting to see how that dynamic forms, because I think that naturally, maybe my belief is that MEX will increase in price, and then that value will flow back into Elrond. That is the value that I kind of see. And especially speaking, in order for the price of MEX to increase at this point, because the only way to get MEX is through Elrond, through swapping it on the Maiar exchange, I essentially, in my head, what I see happening is that Elrond will develop a base here, but every piece, every chunk of growth that Elrond is able to bite off, it's going to essentially there's going to be a chunk of that growth that's quite literally just flowing directly into MEX. And I basically see that Elrond will pump, and then Elrond will kind of push back down. And every time Elrond pushes back down, I think that the pairing MEX versus Elrond, I think that MEX will start to, in the same way that Elrond built value through Bitcoin, as will the MEX token build value through Elrond. So I think that both E-Gold and MEX will run the ranks up the coin market cap But I am making a bet that the Mayar exchange, that the MEX token and the lock MEX mechanism is going to work so well that the demand for MEX is just going to accelerate and Elrond's value will grow. But because there is a tangible real world use case for Elrond, and that's kind of represented by the Mayar exchange.
If I heard you correctly, Steven, you don't own any more Eagle?
I own 0 e-gold.
Holy crap, bro. I didn't realize that was the method you took, but I see why that can make sense. I definitely see where you're going with this, and that's an interesting move. It's quite a bet. God,
Yeah.
it's quite a bet.
Yeah.
But
I was a little nervous yesterday. I mean, because the thing is, Elrond is an altcoin, and when Bitcoin falls in price, altcoins tend to, magnify that loss by, 1.5, 2 times, maybe even 3 times. So I was thinking, all right, if Bitcoin goes down, Elrond is going to go down by an order of magnitude, and MEX is going to drop even more. So I kid you not, Alec, I was calculating what my portfolio would look like if MEX essentially lost 98% of its value. Yeah, yesterday when Bitcoin was looking sour, Elrond was looking sour, and the MEX and E-gold chart was, everybody was just at a standstill, just kind of waiting for Bitcoin and the market to just show some stability.
yeah, bro, literally every morning when I wake up, I'm like, okay, last night I went to bed with Eagle at this price. This morning I will wake up with it at this price. And I turn it on. I'm like, okay, just as long as you're like $1 above what I went to bed last night, I feel like you're going to come back. And that's what happened this morning, man. I was like, okay, dude, I looked at the chart and I was looking at it and I was like, okay, we're back at key support here. We're back right where Eagle was right before it decided to break through the previous resistance. And I was like, if we fall through here, we are tumbling, bro. We are taking a damn tumble.
Yeah.
And I was like, you cannot fall. And then when I woke up this morning, I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. And then when I looked like an hour ago, I was like, thank you, God.
But kind of in the midst of me doing those 98% drop calculations, I was also, you just have to take a moment and take a big step back because, taking a big step back, Alec, you were in the cryptocurrency market in 2017 when that bubble popped. And if the Bitcoin or cryptocurrency bubble pops again, then yeah, a big tumble is definitely going to happen. But like I keep telling myself every time I get a little bit worried, but seriously, like this time with Bitcoin is different. This time with blockchain, like it sounds so kind of like stereotypical and overplayed, but this time is completely different. The demand is no longer 2017 demand. The demand is no longer, I am just going to throw some money into here and see what happens. People have established Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a medium of storing value, of exchanging value. I mean, quite truly, it's kind of insane how different the market truly is from 2017, 2018.
We're entering a new stage of mass adoption. I was talking to coworkers today, coworkers that have had a lifelong career kind of thing, blah, blah, blah. They're nearing the end of the career and they're like, tell me about Bitcoin. That wouldn't have happened in 2017. They would have been like, why are you investing in this scam? Instead, it's now, what kind of opportunity can I pull out of this? That's the point we've reached now.
Yeah, as you're talking, I just had a vision in my head, or not a vision, but just kind of like an analogy form of back then in 2017, 2018, like I definitely am okay to coin the term bubble popping because golly, the drop from 20K to like 3,000 was very significant. But these days, going back to what you just said, Alec, about, if price doesn't hold here, we're going to go for a tumble. The way that I see it is kind of, like whenever you pour yourself like a soda or a pop, if you pour hard, same thing could be said about like a beer. But if you pour hard, that fizz is going to accelerate beyond kind of the body of the liquid. And, if you really keep pouring, then that fizz is going to, boil over the top or whatever. But I really think that the way to view the market these days is that we're no longer in bubble territory. No more tulip mania, BS talk. From now on, we have a glass full of liquid, and every time, the market pours heavily, there's going to be some fizz that boils over the top. We might be able to skim off of it, but at the end of the day, if you don't join that crowd of the fizzy sellers who are just washing about in the price action, if you're instead pouring that liquid and you represent the underlying foundation, you will experience volatility whenever price is pushing at all-time highs and so forth, but the fizz will go away and the liquid will be at a higher point than it was the last time there was volatility. Do you feel like that analogy kind of resonates?
Yeah, dude, I really like that analogy, actually. I've never thought about it that way because, that's really easy to visualize, and anyone's poured out a Coke really fast and seen that fizz just come right over the top. I know we said this in episode 1, but once institutional investors start to come in, it's a serious game at this point. When you have Bill Gates, when you have John Dorsey, I hope I said it.
Jack Dorsey.
Jack Dorsey, yeah, you know who I'm talking about. When you got those kind of people starting to talk about this stuff and then getting involved in the NFT space, oh man, like we really are in a new sphere, bro. We really are.
Yeah, so Alec, you're maintaining that Houston strategy, I think is what you said it was called. And at this point, every day is kind of a question for me. I'm keeping in mind the markets, and I will say that at this point, emphasis is all caps, all bold. We don't have very much data for MEX. MEX is only several weeks old. There is a lot of time and a lot of data needs to come in. But as we stand, I'm holding my fully tilted strategy because whenever I look at the e-gold with the US dollar and the MEX versus US dollar, every time, not yesterday, but the day before, Elrond saw some gains, but the value of MEX moved more than the value of Elrond. And at this point, I'm just kind of making that play in hopes that trend will establish itself as kind of the way these two assets will interact with one another. So in closing, we got Alec doing the Houston strategy, producing as much lock MEX as he can, whereas myself, I'm coining the term fully tilted into MEX, and I have that producing all lock MEX too. So great discussion there, Alec, but I am very excited to bring us to the next discussion. The Holoride ride coin listing is finally upon us. It will be happening on Thursday, and we'll get into some more details about kind of what to expect there. But firstly, I want to pass it off to Alec. He learned some more about Holoride, so let's get into it, bro.
Yeah, okay. So as Steven mentioned, Holoride, they are, I wouldn't call them VR. They themselves call themselves an XR company, so kind of like an augmented reality, kind of a mix between augmented and virtual reality. So just go to holoride.com and you can go ahead and get yourself a sense of what's going on here. But let me give you a little bit of a sense of what's happening with Holoride and what's happening with the Maiar DEX ecosystem.
Yeah, dude.
So Holoride is going to be this like kind of like this gaming system for passengers. And not only that, I was researching that they're thinking about implementing it within public transportation services as well. So that's kind of exciting. Yeah, that's something that's something I didn't know. So Holoride has paired up with Mayar. They're planning on releasing something called the Ride Token. The Ride Token is going to be Holoride's governance token and token that is just used to help, I believe, fund Holoride.
Yeah.
This token is being released Thursday, December 16th, as Steven said. The token's going to be starting out at 4 cents, and the only
Four
place.
cents.
Hell yeah, dude, 4 cents. It's all about those low market cap coins, man, and there's a lot of
Yeah,
treasure
man.
in those. But they're going to be releasing on Thursday, December 16th, the Ride token, and the only place you can get the Ride token is, guess what? On the Maiar exchange.
I was gonna say, is it the Maiar decentralized exchange?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But let me go ahead and
That's
give you
awesome.
a feeling about what Holoride's going to be. So you throw on this headset as a passenger, the car starts to move, and the video game moves with the car. Let's say you take a right turn, the whole video game's going to turn right with it. So this is called, I hope I'm saying this right, elastic feedback or something like that. I can't remember the specific words, but yeah, it's like a feedback between the movement of the vehicle and then the game. And so what this is going to do, it's going to allow the passenger to have some form of in-car entertainment. You know, let's say you're going on a road trip and your kids are bored as hell. You can have them throw on this headset, and not only can they play games, Steven, they can watch Disney Plus, they can watch Netflix, all the popular streaming things. So have you heard of this thing where like you put on a headset and you feel like you're in a giant theater? That's the kind of thing that they're doing.
Interesting.
Yeah, dude.
That's
There's a lot of cool stuff coming with this. They're gonna try to. Right now, they're partnered with Audi. They're partnered with Disney. They're partnered with Universal Studios. They're partnered with Discovery. So I think what I didn't first understand about Holoride was the fact that it's not only for personal vehicles. Think a little, yeah. Think bigger, man. Think bigger. Think theme parks. Think rides. Think showing new technologies at conferences and stuff. This is a new way to do it.
The way that it kind of feels like to me, it's funny that the token is called Ride because it's not just like an Uber ride or a Lyft ride. It is a ride, all of it, and any little piece of it that comes along. That's interesting, man. Go on if you have anything else to share.
Yeah. So there's actually a lot of cool other things happening with Holoride. They're going to be having their own NFT marketplace where people can sell and bid on NFTs, and they're going to have exclusive NFTs coming to Ride that only people who participate in Holoride are able to gather or to get. And not only that, if you're a content creator, Holoride wants you to create for them, man. If you just go to holoride.com and you hit that create tab, you can start creating things for the Holoride platform. You can become, yeah, dude, it's really cool. They want content creators on this platform, and not only that, the content creators would also be being paid in Ride token, I believe.
Wow. So I know that in episode 2 you mentioned that through the Maiar DEX and by purchasing Ride, we're essentially engaging in venture capitalistic type activities. But as you kind of bring this new information to the conversation, it's not just like stock. It's true, truly monetized.
Yeah, there's utility to this coin. And it's not just you buying a piece of Holoride, it's you buying governance rights within Holoride too. So like the
MEX token, yeah.
Exactly. Like the MEX token, you have a say because you own the Holoride token.
Wow, man. Well, Alec, thanks a bunch for looking into that. I can hear the excitement in your voice, and that really makes me want to go out and dig into it myself.
Shout out to Go Guy Go, because I watched his video on my way to work today.
Nice.
And that's the guy who definitely gave me most of the information that I'm using here right now.
Love it. Yeah, Go Guy Go. He's a Elrond community member. Big shout out to you. Thanks for that, Alec, and Go Guy Go. Appreciate the efforts. So, looks like there is a schedule of events that the Maiar DEX Twitter has posted, but the rubber really hits the road once the swaps open, because so far, just to kind of recap to those who might be new to Elrond, MEX, and this ecosystem, so far the only way to obtain Ride is through the Maiar Launchpad. So the Maiar Launchpad is kind of like a separate entity within the ecosystem we won't get into here, but over the past, last month, I'll say, the team put together a way for people to earn Ride token. So there are people out there who already own Ride, and there are some steps that will apply to you if you already own Ride. But Thursday morning, I'm on the Pacific coast, so 6 a.m. is what time swaps will be enabled for me on Thursday.
And then after that, they're going to be enabling, I believe, if I'm hearing this correctly, it's going to be only a locked MEX pool that earns you Ride. Am I right, Steven?
It seems that way. I've got the tweets up here, and it's a little bit lengthy, so I definitely won't try to process through it right now. But I see some swaps for E-Gold Ride. Add liquidity, MEX farm withdraw penalty disabled. Okay, that's good to know because up until now, I was actually delaying reinvesting my harvest because once Ride lists, I don't want to have 1% of my investment pulled out. So that's good to note there. The withdraw penalty will be disabled so that those who have been compounding their rewards will be able to invest in Ride without any penalty.
Are you planning on getting in on the ground floor, bro, with E-Gold, or are you planning on just farming Ride?
That's a great question, and I think it definitely brings up a similar kind of conversation as episode 2, where you and I are talking about the gift that we have being here at the Mayar exchange at the ground floor, because we have time on our side. We are in Elrond, we are in MEX, we are here waiting for the Ride listing. So essentially the answer to your question is absolutely, I will be swapping some MEX for E-Gold, and I will definitely be purchasing some Ride because yeah, man, we are first to eat. The buffet is getting called table by table, and exactly, man, everybody who's here and waiting, they're gonna rush to scoop up Ride. And I found it beneficial. I found it valuable to hold off some cash whenever the MEX token, whenever MEX first launched. I put the great majority of my investment into the Mayar exchange once Mayar exchange launched, but I actually just kind of like held some of it out, and I ended up putting that money kind of back in once the supply and demand kind of revealed itself for the MEX token. And I'm going to definitely take a similar strategy with the Ride token, where I'm 100% and not financial advice, but I would definitely advise using a similar strategy to where you're first in line and you can't go back in time and buy Ride as soon as it's listed ever again. So I think that I'm definitely going to buy some Ride as soon as it lists, and at that point, I'm just going to kind of see where things go. And I'm going to let the markets develop, I'm going to let things play out, and from there, I mean, I really have no looking at the camera, I have no idea how all of this is going to play out. Like, MEX changed the game. The Mayar exchange, the value that you're saving, the lack of fees by using Elrond is changing the decentralized exchange, and it's changing the NFT marketplace. And it's just dumb. It's just dumb how vast this ecosystem is going to continue to grow. And I'm a little bit laughing because, Alec, you and I are just chilling here December 2021. I can't wait to look back on these videos and be like, bro, I can't believe how little we knew. Like, I can't believe what this has turned into, man. We're going to be talking about this the rest of our lives.
I am very happy we are documenting this stuff, because I know once I look back, I'm going to look back and I'm going to be like, you had no idea. No, bro.
It's like we're waiting, not waiting, but waiting in water. And we're just like chilling. We might even have some, what are the things you put on your arm to keep? Yeah, you got some floaties on your arms. Like we're chilling with some brews. And it's like, dude, it's like we have our back turned to the wave. But like we don't even have any idea what the wave is or, what it's going to bring. Like the team at Elrond, specifically Beniamin, he keeps saying that hypergrowth is coming. Like he keeps saying specifically that hypergrowth is coming. So Elrond was the base. Then I think a new world was opened by Maiar DEX. That's why I have my money there. But again, that's the platform for hypergrowth. And he mentioned on Twitter or in the town hall meeting that they have a backlog of coins that are coming to the Mayar exchange, a backlog. And not only are investors waiting for the buffet to open, but the people supplying the buffet are like, yo, like sorry, I'm screaming in the mic. They're like, yo, like we got food and it's getting cold. Like we want to serve these people,
And it's not the fact that their product isn't ready. It's the fact that Mayar isn't. This isn't a bad thing. It's just that Mayar isn't ready to host them. That means there's people lining up and they're like, yeah, as you said, Steven, we got food. We want the people to eat. We just need the platform to serve it on. And they know Mayar is the proper platform, and that's why they're waiting. And Mayar is taking all the proper steps, doing their due diligence, and making sure they are ready to launch, And that's
absolutely,
that's what makes me excited, man.
That's something that, episode 2 was shot when the maintenance was going on. Mayar Exchange wasn't even open. But I do want to talk a little bit about that, though time is running thin here. Because, yeah, man, like, I have been in this space since 2017, and I just think that whenever the Mayar Exchange closed down like that, it was just perfectly rational for people to get a little bit nervous about what's going on here. I mean, decentralized exchanges are synonymous with rug pulls and with people just running and capitalizing on the short-term gain. So I made a tweet that kind of got some backlash from Elrond holders because I was basically just trying to promote a voice of sympathy for those who were brand new to Elrond, may have bought the top, only to put their money into this exchange that immediately shut down. And it's not like I'm like, oh yeah, everybody, all that mercenary capital who is just reaping the benefits to jump ship, like, oh, we should show them sympathy, poor people. It's like, no, like, I don't like those people. I'm not speaking about them. I'm speaking about the good-hearted, investors that are excited just as you and me. And I just wanted to say that, the Mayar Exchange went down. I was nervous because I had been in the past, I had interacted with a form of a rug pull back in like 2017, and a centralized exchange just shut down and took everybody's money. And that's how I felt. I was, it was a duality to where I was like, why in the world would this team jump ship, rug pull, and Alec, I told you, it's like, dude, like, Elrond is just objectively way too good for. Why would anybody why would the team just disappear with money? It's like we built arguably some of the greatest tech of our life, and they're just gonna disappear. Like, it just didn't add up. But there was an area of fear.
The Elrond team knows what they have. They know they have something super valuable, and they know it was worth the time to shut down and make it proper. And
yes.
I respect them for that because, yeah, I didn't really appreciate the fact that I wasn't getting many updates from the team, but I also appreciate the fact that they hunkered down. They were like, I don't care what the noise is around me. We're getting this done, and we're getting it right. And that's what they did. They got it right. The exchange has been working beautifully since it came back online. Like, transactions are fast. And if you are experiencing any issues, a word of advice for you, switch your browser. That's all I did. I switched my browser, everything worked okay. Because I know a lot of people, when it first relaunched, were still having issues. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go from Chrome to Safari. Everything started working like it never had an issue to begin with. So just throwing that info out there for the people who are struggling.
Yeah, definitely. And I brought up kind of like that sympathetic tone, but thanks for bringing it back around to the point that I wanted to emphasize that you did so well emphasizing, is that the team, I'm just going to be simple. The team is taking the right steps. The team is taking their time. They are doing this the right way because they know the value that they have. And whenever you have something valuable, you must cherish it. You must give it utmost attention when it comes to security and protecting those who have their money at stake. So that's the point that I loved that you made, Alec, is with this backlog of coins, coming after Ride launches and lists, all of these listings are companies, are projects that could easily put their coin elsewhere. They could try to build on Ethereum, but they're not. And it's just such a significant point because these quality coins, like what Holoride is bringing, I'm pretty excited to see what comes next. Like, I think Ride is going to be awesome, in the conversation of the metaverse. But I'm excited to just kind of see, what other utilities, maybe there will be some things that come along that aren't touting the big fist of the metaverse, but they have some other tangible use cases. Like, I'm just really excited to see how Maiar DEX grows and the different, coins or whatever you want to call them, tokens come along and help to add value there too. Wrapping up the conversation on the Ride listing, if you're new to Elrond, new to using the Mayar exchange, I personally prefer using a web browser when I can. And also, too, the slippage can be adjusted in the upper corner. So the demand for Ride is probably going to be pretty high, similar to the MEX token. So be cautious, because if you set the slippage too high, that's essentially you're setting the price level that you're willing to pay for it. So adjust your slippage to make sure that you can have your order go through, but be careful of accidentally exposing yourself to far too much slippage that would cause your average buy price to be too high.
Just gonna throw out a price prediction because I just want to. Yeah, NFA. Obviously, this is not financial advice. Ride is going to 2x on the first day. That's just a really low ball. It's going to 2x first day. That's just how these things work. Just throwing that out there. If I'm right, cool. If I'm wrong, cool.
So, I think the first day, I think price might kind of, stupidly explode because everybody is setting their slippage a little bit too high, and that's literally going to cause price to slip far too high. So definitely be cautious of buying tops on this. But yeah, not financial advice, but starting at 4 cents, I don't see why price couldn't go to 20 cents on the first day.
Whoa, bro.
That's not financial advice, but I made a face when you said 2x. It's like, bro, I don't know. We'll see.
I was playing it cautious because if I am right, then I'll feel really good about it.
Like I said, I'm gonna put some in there. I'm going to buy some Ride as quickly as I can once it launches, and then I'm actually going skiing that day. So I'm gonna shut my laptop and I'm gonna go skiing all day, and I'm gonna come back and see what the heck happened.
I like that. I like that.
But yeah, man, super excited for the Ride listing, and more excited than I am for the Ride listing is I'm just excited for the fundamental value that will bring to the Mayar exchange. It's essentially now it's kind of establishing itself, as I mentioned in the last episode, kind of that Coinbase standard, the Coinbase effect, to where now with the Ride listing, that is kind of stamping a seal of approval on This is an exchange, and people are building here. And if you want to build value, you gotta come to Elrond.
I remember when I first got on Coinbase, and it was like 20 coins.
When I first got on Coinbase, it was only Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. That is it.
Then it might have been 3. I didn't want to say 3
Totally.
because I didn't want to seem like I was pretty effing early. But
You were, man. I mean, you're the person who showed me Bitcoin. You're the person who showed me Bitcoin, so.
In the town hall, they also mentioned quite a few more exciting things that are to come, such as one thing that we haven't mentioned yet, bro.
Huh.
The MEX listing on other exchanges. That's a big effing step, dude.
He laughed when he said that. He kind of snickered as if like it was a given. And I'm very interested to see. I mean, in order for that to happen, exchanges must purchase MEX. They cannot sell what they do not have. So if Binance lists, if Coinbase lists, I mean, who knows? But the point is that they can't just create MEX out of thin air. They must supply MEX to people to buy it, you know?
I didn't even consider that at all.
When it comes to exchanges listing MEX, could that MEX somewhere be baked into the laid out tokenomics of the coin? Or must these platforms, must they buy just like anybody else?
I'm pretty sure they have to buy like everyone else, Steven. Does that mean they have to buy Eagled first and then purchase MEX? But that seems like a logical roadmap to me.
Yeah, because obviously you can't buy MEX without Eagled because that's how to swap from it. So yeah, I mean, if you're an exchange and you want to sell MEX, I mean, this is such speculation, but dude, I mean, I think you're right. Like, I think they might have to go through Elrond. I don't know.
Unless the Maiar DEX is willing to open up like just for exchanges a USD pair or something like that. I don't know.
I think we uncovered something interesting in conversation here, man. I hadn't really thought about this, to be honest.
Yeah, that's those are some interesting back end things that I would really love to know how it works, and I don't even know how to go about finding out.
Yeah, well, hey, open it up to the community in the comments. Like, if you guys know something that we don't know, if you read something that gives some insight into how it would look for an exchange to begin selling MEX, like, let's start a conversation, because if Alec and I are on the right train and they must go through Eagled, I mean, for goodness sake, that's certainly going to send some waves of demand through the market for both Eagled and MEX. But yeah, so MEX getting listed on other exchanges is one thing that Beniamin talked about in the town hall meeting. So yeah, to address kind of these town hall meetings, what they are, if you don't know, Beniamin, the CEO of Elrond, gets on and he just kind of talks about what's been going on behind the scenes. And the most recent one, I think they do them once every 2 weeks. And the most recent one, we'll link the videos in the description to check those out, because don't hear it from us, hear it right from the source. Those are some awesome videos to spend some time listening to. I mean, there's just we could spend 6 episodes talking about one town hall meeting.
Yeah, I enjoy getting up in the morning to watch a town hall meeting. I really do.
Yeah. So with the Mayar exchange, they ran into some bugs. They ran into some upgrades that needed tweaking, and the Mayar exchange went down for a little bit, as many of us probably know, but it's now back up. It's running better than ever, cheaper than ever with these upgrades implemented. And you can kind of see it on Beniamin's face. He does appear as though he's a little bit more tired than he was in the previous town hall meeting, which really, like, it wouldn't surprise me. But again, like, it just goes to show that we're on the bleeding edge, and these people, they care a lot about what they are doing. I mean, Beniamin talks about in the town hall meeting that it felt like a near-death experience. And if we think we were a little nervous as investors, I mean, this is years of work and time that they have put into this. And yeah, Beniamin talks about how it was a near-death experience. And I just wanted to say that because, guys, like, this team gives a lot of attention and care to what they are building here. I mean, Alec and I have been talking about it, for 3 episodes now. But golly, it really can't be stated enough that we believe in the Mayar exchange, the team that built it, and what's to come. And they continue to prove themselves as worthy candidates, whatever you want to call them. Just nothing but the best team is putting their efforts into building this ecosystem. And golly, I'll really leave it at that, because with time wrapping down, we can just send you over to watch the video yourselves, and maybe we'll get into more things in episode 4. But I know that by the time episode 4 comes out, we're gonna have another 3 days worth of content that we could talk about.
Beniamin is making it sound like we're going to have many podcast episodes to come, because the team just keeps innovating. And so we're here to keep you updated about the innovations. We're excited about the innovations. We hope you're excited about the innovations. Not financial advice. If you're not farming yet, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, so the emphasis is that Maiar Exchange and Elrond are really building something spectacular here, and I'm certainly excited to be a part of it, and you should be too. So I'll go ahead and say my thanks. Thank you, Alec. Podcast Elrond wouldn't be the same without you. I mean, it is us, and I can't thank the viewers enough. We've really got some incredible support and engagement from just these first 2 videos, and I mean, as Elrond continues to release new stuff, I mean, literally, like, our job here is relatively easy, because they're going to keep bringing stuff for us to get excited about.
Yeah, it's really awesome to be doing this thing with you, and it's so cool to be riding this wave with you, bro. I'm really enjoying being a co-host, and it's really awesome, man. And thank you to the community out there who is showing us, amazing love and support.
For real.
It's really beyond a point that I even thought we'd be at with video 2. We're on video 3 now. We appreciate you guys watching. Please leave some questions, leave some comments. We love to hear from you, and we'd love to respond back.
Yeah, and podcast Elrond is just as new as the Mayar exchange, right? So we're going to continue to grow, and we're going to continue to improve, and rest assured that you'll benefit from hitting that subscribe button. Huge thanks to everybody who's watching, who's subscribed. Hit that notification bell, hit that like button, send us a comment, get us on Twitter. Alec, any closing words?
No, I'm just extremely thankful for all the support out there, and we're looking forward to creating more videos for you guys.
Let's go. So yeah, huge thanks to the Elrond team, and we'll see where this wave continues to take us all.
Hell yeah, dude. All right, we'll catch you on the flip side.
Peace!
Peace!